هذب فؤادك بالحياة فالله قد مدح الحياة وهو الحيي إذا رأى عبدا تضرع بالدعاء.
Yeah, okay, maybe I was. I just want to hear you run it from the beginning.
According to 66:1, did your prophet make something that was halal, haram for himself,
If we're
seeking to please his
specifying,
wife?
if we're specifying for himself, meaning like tahrim al-nafs, i.e. me saying although something is halal generally or shara'i in the sharia, I personally am going to make it impermissible for myself, meaning I'm just not going to do it. And the fuqaha understand this to be an oath, which is why the fuqaha
Right,
extract from this rulings. So
right.
that is actually perfectly permissible within Islam. If I say
Okay,
that something, if you are capable of acknowledging that something is halal generally, but you make the claim that you yourself are not going to do it, or you make it haram for yourself, this is perfectly permissible within Islam as long as you're not saying that it's impermissible generally.
okay. Are you coming to that conclusion on your own?
No. I'm coming to this conclusion based
No, no,
on
no,
the
no. I'm not
fuqaha.
saying no. I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying within the example, right? That
Uh,
you're gonna make this. You're not gonna participate in certain acts, or you're not gonna do certain things because your preference
Oh yeah,
is
no, no,
that
no.
you don't want to do
The
it.
reason doesn't necessarily matter because even if like let's say for example, let's say I'm like married to somebody and they say, "Oh yeah, that you eat this specific food and it makes your breath smell like a bad type of way." So I say, "Okay, I'm going to make this food haram for myself for the sake of my spouse." That's perfectly permissible within Islam. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah writes about this in Majmu' al-Fatawa. Even if it's for the reason being that you want to please your spouse, it's perfectly permissible as long as you're not saying that in the Sharia it's haram because that would be tahrim al-halal في الشريعة.
Okay, so even though your wife tell you or your husband say you don't want to do this now, but can you make it haram in the sense that you're gonna never ever do it again?
That's halal, yes. It's perfectly fine.
Okay, so even though Muhammad allowed it, I mean not Muhammad,
Allah? Yes, even
Allah.
if Allah explicitly says X is permissible, but I, for some reason, say that I am not going to do it, whether it be for my own personal preference or for the sake of another, as long as I am not specifying that is haram within the Sharia, that is halal for me. I am able to say that. The same way that I gave you the example where I said if I have a spouse and he prefers that I don't eat a particular food because it makes my breath smell bad, I can say, um, uh, I'm making it haram for myself to eat, for example, garlic. I'm going to say I make it haram for myself to eat garlic. That is halal because I am not doing tahrim al-sharia or tahrim, what is it called? Tahrim al-halal fi sharia. That's what it's called.
Okay, so whenever Muhammad gave this example about the Jews and the Christians took their rabbis and their monks as lords,
Uh-huh.
are some of the hold on, are some of the things, right, that the Jews and the Christians was permissible for or wasn't permissible,
Perfect. Yeah.
right? Is
So
it is it is it hold on. Is it because they had the simple choice not to do it?
no, it's because they were making claims with regards to the Sharia. So this is Tafsir Ibn Kathir on the ayah that you're quoting, Surah 9, verse 31, where he specifies and he links this to another ayah where it's talking about legislation explicitly. So it says that the reason why Allah I guess you can say, condemns the rabbis and the monks is because they are doing istihlal and tahrim al-halal in the sharia specifically, i.e. legislation. And we can tie this back to 544, where it says anybody who does not legislate or rule by what Allah has revealed, they are truly the kafirin, they are the disbelievers.
Okay. And what verse was it? Can you show me
Yeah, I have the tafsir up, and you can give me
the
big screen so
tafsir
you
on
can read it.
544?
No, this is the tafsir on 931.
Yeah, I have the tafsir of 931.
Yeah, I have it up on the screen if you want to look at it. And
Hold
I
on.
went ahead and highlighted the portion that I'm reading. So it says, and I quote, they took their rabbis and their monks to be lords besides Allah, that the Christians and the Jews obeyed their monks and rabbis in whatever they allowed or prohibited for them specifically. So The first thing that I want to extract from this is that there is a distinction between making something haram for yourself and making something either halal or haram for somebody else. So if I'm legislating that something is haram or halal for somebody else, this is impermissible within Islam. But if I'm specifying that it's for myself, that is perfectly mubah. And then we go on to say, while they were commanded to worship none but one God, who whatever he renders prohibited is the prohibited, and whatever he allowed is the allowed, and whatever he legislates, so this is talking about explicitly legislation, i.e. the Sharia, is the law to be followed, and whatever he decides is to be adhered to. So the tafsir is specifically mentioning, because you tried to link it back to this ayah, that the rabbis and the monks were making things halal for other people and making things haram for other people. But if it's the case that I acknowledge that a particular ruling is present, for example, Allah makes something halal for me, but I say, me personally, I'm not going to do this thing, this is mubah. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah talks about this. And a good example that is given is, for example, let's say I, again, get into a marriage. I'll give a different example, because this is actually acknowledged within fiqh. Let's say I get married to a man.
You're going to have to wrap it up in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's okay, don't worry. I can wrap it up in 30 seconds. Let's say, for example, I get married to a man. And within Islam, it is permissible for him to get married to more than one. But he says, I have made it haram for myself, or I will not get married to more than one. Although it is mubah for him to do so, he has made it haram for himself. Meaning, although he is acknowledging that the ruling exists and that it's permissible for him, he is making it haram for himself. So it's perfectly mubah after that.
Okay. So is it permissible? Do you find Sharia laws that give you permission to actually sleep with your slave girls? Is that Sharia? Can we find that in your Sharia?
In 424, yes.
Okay. So thank you, Cora. So it is the law that Muhammad broke because you find it in your Sharia. You just cooked your whole argument. Hold on. You just cooked your own argument because you said it's only attaining to the law. It's only pertaining to the law. And we find in your law that it is permissible for you to have intercourse with your slave chicks, which Muhammad just made prohibited when Allah
Prohibited
granted
for
it.
who? Prohibited for who? For others or for himself?
Whether
Answer that
it's for
question.
himself or hold on.
No, answer the question.
Whether
For
it's
others
for
or himself?
himself, it's for himself. So whether it's for
Exactly.
himself or for anybody else, it's still part of the Sharia. It's still part of the law that they can't do this because it's not only in 931. It doesn't just say for themselves. It says for other people. I would agree, but then also it doesn't just say what made halal haram. It also goes the reverse as well.
Okay.
If you make something haram,
haram halal,
that's
yes.
halal. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
So
So right. So
or-
your prophet did. So your prophet did do something that is found in your Sharia, and he changed it.
No,
even
he
if it's
didn't
only for
do
himself.
something. No. Yeah,
if
that's
it's
a
only
straw
for himself, Cora, hold on.
Go ahead, continue.
If it's only for himself, it's still he's changing something or ruling that is part of the Sharia, unless you're gonna just special plead and say this don't always apply for my prophet because he is the one giving the law.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Which one you gonna say?
Okay, first off, that's a false dichotomy. Second off, you actually strawmanned the argument that I made, and you
I
didn't
didn't
acknowledge the
strawman
points
you
that
at
I was
all.
making.
I
Hold
didn't
on.
strawman
So
you.
let me ask you this. Let's say, for example, there is something permissible within the Sharia. For example, okay. Let's give the example of the Prophet, Allah Azza wa Jal, he makes it permissible for men to marry four. If a man refuses to marry more than one, is this haram? Yes or no?
That's on his own volition. He just wanted to choose not to.
Exactly. And the
But,
Prophet
hold on.
Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam chose not to do said action. Not because he legislated within the Sharia that it was haram, but because he personally made the decision not to do it with regards to himself. Now,
Okay, but
424,
hold on.
let me
Okay,
address
hold
the
on.
point that you
Well,
made
hold
about,
on.
wait, let me address the point
Well,
that you made
hold-
about 424
okay,
though.
go ahead.
So with regards to 424, yes, it is permissible for a man to be intimate with the woman that like is his concubine. Now, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not contradict this ruling in the sense that he said that it is no longer permissible or it's haram fi sharia or within the sharia, but rather the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam acknowledges that it is permissible generally or in the sharia, but personally makes it impermissible for himself. And what's being intended when it says impermissible for himself, if you actually read Surah, 61, ayat 2 and 3, it says that Allah has made a way for you to absolve yourselves from oaths. So this ties back to what I mentioned from Majmu' al-Fatawa by Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, where he says that when you do tahreem of something for yourself, this is an oath. So you are taking an oath that you will not do it. That's all it is. So it's not tahreem fi sharia or tahreem al-halal fi sharia. It's called tahreem al-nafs. It's making something haram only for yourself and not within the sharia. And as long as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not making something haram within the sharia, this is not shirk. It is not haram. It is perfectly fine as long as he acknowledges that the ruling is permissible within the book, which he does acknowledge actually.
Okay. So let
Go
me
ahead.
respond.
Yeah.
First, now you waffling. Now you're going back. You're crab walking on what you said earlier. Because
Sure
you
I am.
already agreed, Cora, that we find this in the Sharia. And the reason why this will be so damaging is because Muslims follow the Sunnah of Muhammad. So if Muhammad was allowed to do this, then there will be widespread Muslims taking things upon themselves, right, to do so, and then everyone will be making up their own rulings and own laws or arrogating or whatever you want to say, whatever, right? Now, this is what happened with Muhammad. Muhammad did this. Now, Cora, if this was actually so permissible, Muhammad did nothing wrong. He was well within his right to do this. Why did Allah correct him?
Allah is reminding him that this action is 100% perfectly permissible for him,
So,
and that his
okay.
wives do not have a right over him in this matter. In the sense
Okay,
that his
so he
rights
did
don't.
something.
Wait,
So
hold
he
on.
did something.
He didn't do something wrong.
He did
Now,
something wrong,
Wait, let
didn't
me
he?
go ahead and expound because I was going to expound on this point. Now, Allah is not saying that this is haram. Allah is saying, why would you make something haram for yourself, that which is halal? He's not saying that
Allah's
this
not
is
saying
haram.
something is haram, but he's using the word
What?
haram.
He's not saying it's haram, no. And the scholars
What?
actually explain the
What?
ayah.
You listening to yourself?
No, it's not
Cora?
haram. It's not haram. Because,
Allah
So
was
why
not
did,
wait,
correcting
one
so
him.
why
second.
did Allah?
Wait, hold on.
not-
So
Allah
why
was not
did,
Hold on.
correcting
Okay,
him.
why
let's
are there
be-
two
we
grown
can't go-
men
hold
speaking
on.
over me? Calm down, both
Okay,
of you.
hold
It's
on,
okay, calm
hold
down.
on, because so why would
It's okay, calm
Allah
down.
use the word haram when Muhammad really didn't do anything haram?
The
Why would he
ayah
use
is no wait, hold on.
that word?
But what does haram mean?
It means prohibited or
Okay,
impermissible.
so make something prohibited for yourself which is permissible. Is this
Right.
Allah saying that what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did is haram? Is this Allah saying that?
Yes.
And if so,
that's why
prove
he's
that.
correcting him.
Wait, hold on. A
He
correction.
used
No,
the
no, 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 no,
literal
no. One
word
second.
haram.
Yeah, but haram is referring to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did to himself. He's not calling the action haram.
Do you agree that Allah's
That is
correcting
haram.
Muhammad?
It is a correction, not just for him, but
So
it's
if he's
an emphasis. For, wait, hold on. Hold on. Can you guys let me finish speaking?
then I
Can you
got
guys
you.
let
If
me
he's
finish speaking?
correcting him, then he did something wrong,
Not
correct?
necessarily, no. Because in Islam, we make a distinction between, okay, yeah, there are two grown men freaking out. Anyways, the reason
man,
why
this
I'm
funny.
saying this
This
is
funny.
Hey,
because.
W Core in the chat, man.
Amen. But both of you chill out. Anyways, the point that I was going to make is that there is a distinction between Allah correcting an action or Allah putting an emphasis on a particular action not necessarily being binding.
What are you
Now, the
talking
reason
about?
why, okay, listen, if you actually read the verse, it's talking about a way that you are absolved from oaths. So, Allah is not saying that the action was impermissible. Allah is emphasizing that these types of oaths are not binding. So, let's say, for example, if I say I have made.
Can you
Wait,
slow
hold on.
down?
I'm
You said-
speaking.
you said-
I'm speaking
You
very
said
slowly.
you said a lot. You said a lot. Can
I'm
you just,
speaking very
like-
slowly, Logic.
Okay. What does it mean to correct something?
Okay. So if a particular action isn't necessarily 100% in line or not binding,
Uh-huh.
So let's say, for example, if I take an oath and this oath isn't necessarily binding upon
Just
me,
simply, what does it
I
mean to
can
correct?
emphasize. Wait, hold on. I'm speaking specifically in this instance. So, with regards to this particular instance, Allah Azza wa Jal is emphasizing that this type of an oath is not necessarily binding upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Thank you. So
And
what
the
does it
reason
mean to
why
what does it mean to
logic,
correct
I'm in the middle of
something?
speaking. I'm in the middle of
Yeah,
speaking.
but you're not
Logic.
answering the question,
I was
Cora. You're
talking to
waffling.
Word. I don't know why you came up and tried to involve yourself,
Well,
Logic.
we're all in this conversation together.
Okay, let me get another Muslim up
We
here
can
then.
Sure, I'll bring up
talk
another
together.
Okay, let
Muslim.
me get
It's
Cal.
no
Hold on, let me
problem.
send this live to Cal real quick.
Yeah, send it to Cal.
Cal's already was in here. Let me
It's
see if
no,
he's
no,
still
because you
here.
wouldn't rise him, but it's okay. We'll get my boy Cal in here.
No, I was in the middle of a conversation when he was trying to come up, and
Yeah, but
Chris
the guy
Claus
you were
said,
talking to is boring, man.
"I
I just want to
mean,
know
I
what it
can't help.
means.
I can't help for people who comes up. They request up. I talk to them. So
I,
who,
It was boring
Cal? Are you
though.
here? Put a one. Put a one in the chat,
But
Cal, if you're
anyways,
here.
no, no,
I just
no,
want to
don't
know
worry.
what
I'll
it.
just text Cal. I'll
I
text
just
him. But
simply want to know what
regardless,
what does it mean to correct something? That's all I asked. And you went on something else in a waffle fest.
no, no, no,
Just
because
what is it?
I'm speaking specifically in relation to the verse. Now,
I'm only
Oh,
the
you
asking
got
what does it
verse,
mean.
Brazil.
the
Hey, do
verse
you
is
rock with a
sent
Brazilian?
down.
I didn't ask why the verse was sent down. I
Wait, no, no,
simply
no. I,
asked
I mean, I
what
wasn't,
does it
I,
mean?
I wasn't acknowledging you. I was acknowledging the
What
host.
does it mean to correct
I
something,
wasn't
Cora?
speaking to you. I was speaking to the host. Logic.
Okay, so what does it mean to correct something?
I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to the host. Host,
But
let's get back
I'm
to the
speaking
point.
to you. I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, I don't feel like talking to you though.
Oh, there
I
go
bet you
Cal.
don't.
That's kind of boring. Yo, what's up, Cal? Anyways, let's
Assalamu
go back to the
alaikum,
topic. Wa alaikum
Ukhti.
assalam. Let's go back to the topic though.
Yeah, what is it? What does it
So,
Walaikum
mean?
salam, Aki.
okay.
I said
So,
Ukhti.
I
anyways,
What
said
does it mean to
Aki.
correct? What does it
word.
mean to correct something,
Wait,
Cora?
hold on. I wanted to hammer in one more point with word because he didn't
No,
address something that I
there's not
said.
a one more point that you're gonna
Wait,
hammer
no,
in
no,
until
no.
you
Hold
answer the
on. Wait,
question.
1 second. Logic. You came up here and you
Yes, I came
interjected
up
and you
here. I
derailed.
waited for you to finish
No,
your
you
points.
derailed a conversation between me and
Hey,
word.
word, is my question a de? If you tell me it's a derail, then
That's the
I'll
same
stop.
question I asked her
No, it's
before. I
not.
Oh,
asked her the same
interesting.
Was.
question. Yeah, I
So we're on
asked
the
the
same page,
question. I
word.
asked that same question before.
So we're on
Okay.
the same page.
That's
Okay.
why I asked you
Anyways.
why. What does it
Oh,
mean
Anyways,
when
word.
Allah corrected Muhammad?
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah. Okay.
So
asked you that.
the
Remember?
intent of the verse, yes, the
So what
intent
does
of
it
the
mean to
verse.
so
1 second,
faith?
hold on.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Cora.
I'm acknowledging the verse. And why are there
What
Christians
does it
blaspheming in the
mean? Hold
comments?
on. What does it mean? Because earlier you're like
Y'all
double
don't be
talking.
blaspheming in the comments,
Nobody
y'all.
blasphemed on either side, but
You
regardless,
you you were double talking earlier, Cora. You
double
said you
talking in what
want in one
instance?
place you said that it wasn't a correction, and then you're saying it's a correction, but not really.
No, I didn't say
So
that.
that's why I'm
What I
asking you.
did, no, no, no. What
What
I
does it,
did
so,
is I put an
Cora?
emphasis
If
logic.
you can calm down, it'll
You
be okay.
just
I
logic.
promise it'll
It's
be
gonna be
okay.
okay.
So
Regardless, why are
what
you
does
stealing
it
my rhetoric,
mean
man?
to correct something, Cora? Please answer.
Okay, beautiful. So in this instance, what Allah is doing, the correction, is that He is putting an
I'm not
emphasis
asking
on
what
the
the correction
fact.
is.
Wait, no, no, no.
I'm
The
not asking what a
correction.
correction is.
Oh
I'm
my
asking
goodness.
what does it mean to correct
I'm
something.
giving you an example of what the
I
correction
don't need an
is.
example. I
So I
want
have
to
a
know what
question.
does it mean to correct something, Cora.
Okay, if a particular thing is either inaccurate or wrong,
Ah,
and the
oh,
inaccuracy in this
mhm.
instance is the presence of an oath that is not binding,
If
which
it's
is
inaccurate, is
why
it wrong?
61. Wait 1 second, sorry.
No,
The
please,
oath was, yeah,
because I need
the
you to be
oath was,
I need
yeah,
you to
wait,
be
yeah, the
specific.
inaccuracy in this instance, yes, the inaccuracy or the wrong oath in this instance is an oath that lacks binding.
I got
So
you.
when we're
So would
talking about,
you?
wait,
So
let me
would
finish
you?
responding. Hold on, logic.
Okay.
So in Surah 61, it is
My
putting an
goodness, the waffle is
emphasis on the
insane.
fact, wait, hold on. Do you acknowledge that Surah 61 verse
Can
2,
you please not
it
ask me
talks
another
about,
question
okay.
until you answer?
Yeah, I did answer. I already answered the question,
No,
logic.
you just used other words. When you say inaccurate, does to be inaccurate, does that mean to be wrong?
An inaccuracy can be used interchangeably with wrong depending on the context.
Is there any context where something that is inaccurate can be correct?
Nah, probably
Good
not.
Lord. Okay, thank you. So like you see how we gotta
So
like
the oath,
I
yeah,
don't
and
understand.
the
Hold on, let me land this.
inaccuracy in this
I
instance is
I don't
the
understand.
oath
So
or
can we
the.
agree?
Wait, hold
Hold
on.
on. Can we agree
Logic,
that
logic.
Muhammad was wrong here?
Wrong in the action, not necessarily, but what Allah is
But you said it was
doing.
inaccurate.
Wait, no, no, no. Wait, hold
Jesus.
on. And logic. What did I say the inaccuracy was? Wait, hold on. Let's
This
do
is
a
why this is what
test.
I'm talking
Wait,
about,
let's do
man.
a test and
See,
see if
all that
logic
waffle,
was
this is why I
tracking.
like to
Hold
stay
on.
direct
Let's
to the
do a
point, Cora.
test and see if you were tracking. What did I say was inaccurate?
You said that him taking the oath in this case was
No,
inaccurate.
the oath is the inaccuracy or the wrong
so
thing.
was Muhammad
Because
wrong when
the
he made the
oath lacked binding.
So did he
what
make a
Allah
wrong
is
oath?
doing is putting an emphasis.
Did
Wait, hold
he
on.
make a wrong oath?
No, he's making no.
No?
The oath is
Word, what are we
unbinding. Is
doing?
the emphasis logic?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. The point
What
logic.
Cora? Did he
Wait,
tend
wait,
for
hold
it
on.
to
He's
be
doing
binding?
too much, bro. He's being theatrical.
Cora,
This is insane.
real quick. I
He's
just
being
want to ask a
so
question real quick.
theatrical for no reason. Go ahead, Bert.
I'm bewildered.
Was Muhammad intending for it to be binding?
Wallahu a'lam, to be honest with you.
Allah.
With regards to whether or not you're asking me for
Cora.
someone's intention. That's crazy, dude. But
Jeez.
regardless.
What is an oath? Is an oath binding or not?
An
You're
oath.
so
No. An
dishonest,
oath
Cora.
isn't always binding.
What is an oath then? Is an oath agreement, and you that means you're binding.
No. In
You're binding
Islam,
yourself to an agreement?
no. In Islam, wait,
agreement.
hold on. In Islam, an oath can be both binding and unbinding. An example of an unbinding oath.
What?
Okay, it seems you have a tracking issue. You don't know what's going on, logic.
This is crazy.
An example of an
That's cute.
unbinding oath, logic.
The
An
religion
example.
of yes, no.
Hey, logic, calm down. An example of an unbinding oath is, for example, if I take an oath that I'm going to do something haram, that oath is not binding upon me. For the reason being that it's built off of something impermissible. Another example of an unbinding oath
hold on a second,
is
though.
if I
Hold on,
make
hold on,
haram for
pause,
myself
pause.
something halal.
One thing at a time, Cora. We're not gonna let you go waffle.
No,
and waffle
I'm
fest
giving
every
you
time
examples,
speak.
logic. I'm giving you
Just
an example.
one thing at a time. So
Oh
if
my
you
goodness.
personally make an oath to do something haram, is that an example of you personally binding yourself to doing something even though it's impermissible?
It's not actually binding.
What does it mean? What is an oath? Jesus Christ is the Lord of hosts. What's an oath?
What do you think an oath is, logic?
What is no? Don't ask me what I think it is because
Me
I thought
vowing
it
to
meant
do a
something.
particular action.
I thought we knew
Me
what an oath
vowing
meant,
to either
but because,
do
because
or
hold
not.
on,
Wait,
sorry,
I'm
Cora.
defining the
But
term, logic.
because of your
Logic,
I'm
double defining
talk,
the term.
Excuse me, Cora.
Logic,
let me
I'm
talk,
defining
please.
the term.
Notice how I let you give y'all for your example.
No, you
Now
didn't. You
calm down
interrupted
and
me
let
multiple
talk.
times.
Calm down.
You
and let me
interrupted
talk.
me, logic.
Okay, so we'll
But
just
go
do
ahead.
this. Thank you. So I thought that we knew what the word oath means, but now we're talking to a Muslim. So now we don't know because you're double talking. So please don't ask me what I think it is after I just asked you. What is the definition of the word oath?
Okay, so the way that we're going to define oath in this instance is vowing to either do or not do a particular action. So it's a
When you
statement
vow to
of
do
vowing-
something, what does that mean?
Oh my goodness. I just defined to you the term. I'm saying that I
What
will
does it
do
mean to vow to do something?
I'm saying
Because
that
you're
I
still
will do
being
it.
vague with your definition.
I'm saying that I will do it. That's as simple as it's going to get, bud.
Very good. So when you say that you will do something, is that your intention binding on yourself to do something even if it's haram?
No, intending to do something doesn't make the oath binding within Islam. Because
Yeah,
right
it's
now,
about the-
we're
it's
doing
about
a,
the
wait, hold on,
intention
because
of the
right now,
oath,
logic,
Cora.
we're doing something that you hate to do, which is speak about fiqh. So within fiqh, a particular oath, regardless of whether or not your intention is it being binding, that doesn't make it binding. So if you want, we can talk about the fiqh of this issue, because I actually brought up what Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah says in Majmu' al-Fatawa about these particular oaths of you making
waffle
something either
fest.
permissible or impermissible for yourself. But if you don't want to talk about fiqh, we don't have to talk about fiqh logic. But I'm going to
okay.
tie this back to
So
the
where-
argument
hold
that
on, let me
Word was
respond to what
making
you just said.
and a point that I made. Wait 1 second. I'm going to tie this back to the point that I was making with
Let me
Word,
respond to what
which
you just
was-
said, though.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to tie it back to something real quick.
Yeah, but you just made a point. I need to respond
Yeah,
to what you
but
just said.
I'm tying this point to something that was said
Yeah, but I
earlier.
need to respond to what you just said.
Yeah,
You're
you can
going on
respond to both
another
points after
waffle
I'm done
fest.
speaking,
You need to slow down and deal with one point at a time.
It's okay.
You're not
It's
going to
not
be
my
able to
fault. You
shotgun
can't keep
stuff
up with
here.
me, logic. That's not my
You
fault.
can't, you're
But
not
I'm
going to
gonna go ahead
shotgun
and tie
stuff
the
here.
point back to what
you
Word was
can't
saying
waffle here.
previously.
Sorry.
It's okay, logic.
On a panel
You
like
don't
this,
know
you
what's
actually have to
going
deal with
on.
the arguments.
Logic. You don't know
You have
what's
to
going
actually
on.
deal with
It's
the
okay.
arguments.
It's okay, logic. You don't
It
know
is.
what's
It is
happening.
okay. It is
It's
okay.
okay, logic. You can't track what's going on.
It
I
is
understand
okay.
that I might be speaking a little bit too
I
quick
know.
for you,
I
or
know. We
maybe you're
can't
not
track what the
understanding
word
the words
oath
that are coming
means,
out of my
ladies and
mouth.
gentlemen. All
It's
of a
okay,
sudden,
logic.
we don't
Maybe
know
you're
what
not
the word
understanding the
oath
words that are coming
means.
out of my mouth.
We don't know what the word binding means.
Buddy,
We don't know
we're
what it
speaking
means to
about
be
fiqh.
incorrect.
Wait, hold
We
on.
don't know what it means to be
Fiqh.
inaccurate. We don't know what the word
F-I-Q-H.
wrong
Wait, hold on.
means.
Let me ask you
None
this
of this
because wait,
stuff
hold on.
that we know
If
what
you're
it
so
means.
studied in
Come
Islam,
on,
Word, can you
wait, hold
mute
on.
up
If
for
you're
me?
so
everybody.
studied in
Wait a minute,
Islam,
break it
what
down.
makes a
Let's
wait? Hold
break
on.
it
No.
down.
Okay, word.
Hold on, everybody, calm down. Let's bring it back.
F-I-Q-H. Fiqh.
Clear the room. Let's go.
Yo, never ask God logic about fiqh, man.
And never ask Cora to define anything, man.
I mean, I defined
He
every
literally
term you
gave
asked
you
me
the
to
You're gonna get a
definition,
yes,
bro. She
no
gave you
every
the
time.
definition.
Yes, it
I
does
mean,
mean
I,
this. No,
I
it doesn't mean
defined every
this.
single term that you asked me to define, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
But
you did
regardless,
not.
yes,
What
I
is it?
did.
What does it mean to vow to do something?
If I'm making a statement that I'm going to do X. For example, if I make the statement that I'm going to do
I don't need
X
an
at Y
example. I
time,
just need the answer to my question. Stop trying
a
to waffle with an
statement
example, a fake
where
example every time.
a fake example? Do you have a
She
tracking
defined
issue
it,
or
Yes.
then
something,
gave you an
Logic?
Something
example,
that's not
bro.
Do you have a
analogous.
tracking issue, Logic? Are you kidding me?
I can't track yes,
It
no
seems you have a
answers.
serious tracking issue,
I can't
Logic.
track double talking. It's hard.
Buddy, there's no double talking going on. Maybe you're just
Yes,
not
you are.
tracking
Okay,
the
so
words that are
answer the
coming out of my
question
mouth,
then. What
Logic.
define what it means when you say an oath is when you vow to do something. What does it mean to vow to do something?
Okay, to make a positive statement that I'm going to do X.
What does it mean to so if I say I'm going to drink this water bottle, is that a vow that I'm making?
Depends the way that you're defining, though.
Oh my!
But
See, do you
within
see what I'm talking
Islam, but within Islam, we have a different definition for what makes an
Right.
oath binding.
In Islam, words
Yeah,
don't mean
because
what
right,
they
no,
actually
because we're
mean.
talking about jurisprudence right now, Logic, a
The
topic that
double
you'd never
talking yet
discussed with
again.
me. So,
Double
Logic, wait,
talking
hold
yet
on,
again.
Logic. We're right now, we're not talking about your definition of
Define what
Logic.
a vow
Calm
is.
down.
What does it mean to vow to do something?
Are you asking me for your definition or the definition within
I'm
fiqh?
asking you for an objective definition of
We're
what it
speaking
means
about
to
Islam,
vow to do
Logic, so this is
something.
an internal
So when I
critique.
make
So
an
if I
oath,
give
and you
you a
said,
vow,
excuse me, stop cutting me off.
Logic, I
When
was
I
in the
make
middle of
an
speaking.
oath,
I was
go ahead
speaking.
and mute her. Go ahead and mute her word.
Are
Or
you
something,
kidding me?
because she can't control
This
herself.
guy is a slowpoke. What's going on?
She
But
can't control
regardless,
herself.
Logic.
Y'all let's let each other talk.
No,
All
word.
right.
He is
Let's let
She can't
each other
speaking.
control
Wait,
talk.
hold
herself.
on.
She's even
He's
cutting you off now.
okay. The
Let's let
mods
each
are
other
muting me up,
talk.
but regardless.
Okay. So
I didn't
when I
mute you.
asked
No, I
you,
said mods.
when I ask you to define oath, you give me some
Don't
vague.
don't mute her. I'll mute people. All right, Mars. Don't do it. I'm capable.
You give some vague definition saying, "Oh, when you vow to do something." I ask you, what does that even mean? And you can't even tell me what that. Oh, it depends on how you're defining it. That's what I just asked you.
Bud, are
So
we
why don't you
speaking about
hold on?
Islamic
Relax,
jurisprudence?
relax, so that you
Go
know
ahead.
how to engage with the question, Cora. The waffle fest is not going to help you, not on this panel. So when you tell me that to make an oath, when Muhammad makes something haram for himself, all he's doing is making an oath, but it's not incorrect when you said that it's an inaccurate oath, and you said to be inaccurate is to be wrong, but in this case, it doesn't mean that he's wrong, he's making a wrong oath. You're double talking. So the question is, when you say making an oath is to vow to do something, what does that mean? I don't need some elaborate example. Tell me what it means.
Okay, so I need some clarification first.
Oh,
And the
Lord.
clarification that I need is, are we speaking from an external lens? So are we speaking from the perspective of what an oath is within fiqh? Or are we speaking about what an oath is within the English language? Because depending on what we're speaking about, the definition is going to vary. If you're
What's the
asking
difference?
me,
What's the difference between an oath in Islam, in Islamic fiqh, and the actual definition of the word? What's the difference?
okay, so within Islam, when you make an oath, you invoke Allah's name and you have niyyah, and it needs to concern something which can conceive possibly. So in order for me to make an oath within Islam, I invoke either Allah's name or his attributes, and I must have the niyyah that it is an oath, and what I am making the oath about must conceive within reality, and it must be a future possibility. Now, all of these stipulations would not be within the definition of oath within the English language, because depending on the context, the definition is going to vary. Was that
What does it mean?
exhaustive enough for you? Or
No,
do
what
you
it's
want me to
not.
repeat it slower?
What's the definition of the word oath?
Within Islam,
Lord have
okay,
mercy.
so an oath within Islam is going to be a statement where you A, invoke Allah's name or one of his attributes, B, have the niyyah of it being an oath, and C, it relates to something which can take place within reality and which is taking place in the future. That is what an oath is going to be within fiqh and or jurisprudence within Islam. Is that exhaustive enough for you, or do you want me to repeat it a bit slower for you, Logic?
I like that. Thank you for that example. Word. Give me the big screen, please. I'm about to bury this child.
Nice rhetoric, bro.
Nah,
Hey,
buns
no
rhetoric,
means
dude.
tell, right? No means tell,
No,
right?
no means, hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey,
We
Mark 10:18,
define
man.
words. Hey,
Hey,
we
here
gotta
we
go to
go.
Mark
Greek, not the
10:18, man.
English,
Yeah,
right,
here we
man?
go. Can you read
Are
that?
you
Go on and
kidding
read
me?
that.
I just
Go on,
defined it in fiqh. Oh my
go on,
god,
go on
you're
and read that.
logic, you're a
Oh,
slowpoke.
no.
All right,
Logic,
hold on.
you're a slowpoke.
Before I have you read
You
as a
are
half
a
brain, before I
slowpoke,
have you read as
Logic.
a half brain,
You are a slowpoke.
did you not just make
Logic,
the
you are like
very
top 3
claim?
sub
Can you
5s
mute her, please?
intellectually. You
Can you
are
mute
a
her?
you have sub 5 intellect,
Word,
Come
can you
on,
genuinely.
come on,
control her?
Cora. Let him read. Let him
Buddy,
read.
I just gave him a
Can you
definition.
control
Why
her?
is Oh my god, bro.
You ready now? So notice what you did, Cora. Earlier, you said when I asked you to define what an oath is, you said that an oath in Islamic fiqh is going to be different from the definition of the word oath in our English language. I asked you, what is the difference? You haven't told me the difference. You just gave me some waffle fest on what you're making up about what an oath is within Islamic fiqh, which is to call upon God. To
No,
call upon
that's
God,
not
make a
all.
statement to call upon God, to bind yourself and make a statement calling upon God upon something that can possibly happen in reality, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, let's see what oath means in the English language. Right here it says, a solemn, usually formal calling upon God or a deity to witness to the truth of what one says or to witness that one sincerely intends to do what one says. It's exactly what you just said. The Islamic fiqh is on an oath.
That's false.
So you just, please be quiet. I'm trying to give you the other half of the brain. So you just buried yourself by trying to make this. This is what we do here. What we do here is we expose how the Waffle Fest is just waffle. You say a lot without saying anything. And so you try to make up that all of a sudden oath in Islam is different from just the word oath in general. And it's not any different. So again, we see that both an oath is a calling upon God, bearing witness about what the person intends to do. You said that this is the same thing that Muhammad did. Was the oath that Muhammad made, was it a correct oath that he made, or was his oath wrong? Please answer simply.
Beautiful. Give me big screen real quick. Word. Okay, perfect. So he made the positive claim that the definition that I gave for oath was actually just a bunch of waffle and salad that I gave him, and it wasn't necessarily in compliance with the definition within the English language. Now, every single stipulation that I gave you for the definition is present within Islamic fiqh. Now, logic, I'm going to ask you after this to repeat all of the conditions that I gave you for an oath within Islam, because the definition that you just gave me
Can you
from a
answer the
dictionary
question?
is not exhaustive. Buddy, I let you speak, so are you going to let me? Or are you going to
I asked you a
continue acting
question.
like
You're
a
you're
kid?
supposed to answer.
Do you want me to spell kid out for you, and then you
I
can
want you
repeat
to
it
answer
after
the
me?
question.
Logic, I have a question.
Don't ask me anything until you answer the question.
Logic. I'm going to respond to everything that you said, and then I'm going to answer your question.
Can
But
you
the first
answer
thing that I'm going to
first
do...
and then expound,
I don't
please?
need to do all that because you didn't answer my question,
You
but
didn't have a
I'm gonna
question,
do
dummy.
you. No. I'm gonna do you a solid, and then I'm gonna
You
answer
didn't
yours.
have a question, half brain. You didn't have a question.
Okay, keep insulting me like the little dog you are. Dog
You were
logic.
the one. You. Oh,
It's
now you
okay,
can't
dog
take the
logic.
trash talk.
No. I
You can't.
didn't. I
You
didn't
can't take the
insult you
trash talk
personally
now.
though.
You
I
don't.
didn't take you.
You.
I didn't insult you personally though.
You did. You said
Regardless.
I was slow.
Yeah, I called you a slow poke, but that's like barely an
Okay,
insult
so
though.
then, so you can take the trash talk, half
Regardless,
brain. You call me
the
slow poke. I call you half brain.
definitions, logic, calm down. The
So
definition
answer
that
the
I
Okay, then
gave
question.
Mark,
you
then.
for let me
Was
speak.
Muhammad's oath
Let me
correct or
speak.
was it a
The
wrong
oath was
oath?
not binding. Now
I didn't ask
let
if
me
it was
speak.
binding. I'll ask. Word. Did you hear my
That's the
question? Word.
correct terminology,
Word.
bud.
Did you hear my question? Word.
Bud. The oath is not binding. It's as
Mm-hmm.
simple as that. Don't turn off my
Okay.
camera,
So Word
dude.
heard my
Listen.
question. I'll ask it again.
Oh my
Was the
goodness,
oath
dude.
that Muhammad made, was it wrong or was it correct?
What does it mean for an oath not to be binding, logic?
Brother,
Literally, what do you think that
what?
means, logic? Let's be smart about this logic.
Thanks
What
for
does it
coming,
mean
Cora.
for an oath
Thanks
not
for
to be
Thanks for
coming,
binding?
coming.
Cora.